what can we leave with to tell marketers to be on the lookout, be mindful of, is there a word of advice?
I think then as you start to look at defining metrics and data, it's really important not to assume that every data point is a metric.
Okay.
And I think we're in that, we're buried in all this data, and so we track, impressions, viewability, time spent, engagement. We've come up with all these ways to take a data point or two and call it a metric. And a lot of these are vanity metrics. Likes and shares.
I love that term, by the way, vanity metrics.
Likes and shares. Sound good. Looks good on paper.
Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm doing a great job. Look at all the shares I've got. But without being able to tie that to a business impact, who cares? And again, a lot of this, this is where I think the maturation of digital and measurement has to go. To be able to define which of these data points are simply data points, which ones are what I call diagnostic. So you're not getting the results you wanted from your display advertising, let's say, or your online video. Well, their viewability might be interesting. It might be a good diagnostic. Why am I not getting the results? Oh, well, I'm delivering a whole bunch of impressions, but 60% of them aren't viewable. All right, now I know what to do to fix that. But viewability as a success metric for is the campaign delivering, that's not a good KPI. So you've got to move up from the diagnostic metrics to the leading indicators. Let me come back to leading indicators, because obviously at some point, which the market mix and attribution tools can start to give you, is how is this driving this business KPI?
Right.
Leads, revenue, profitability, all those kinds of things. Ultimately those are the only metrics that matter. And then between that is the leading indicators. Which of those data points or which of those actions that are closer to the ad exposure so that they're meaningful in terms of optimizing the campaign, but can be correlated to or drawn a statistical relationship to that business goal, so that I can watch this leading indicator metric, and if it's not performing the way I need it to, now I can go back to my diagnostics to find out what's missing, what isn't hitting the way it should be, without waiting until after the campaign to look at, oh, the sales didn't come in, something went wrong. And now we have the opportunity with this wealth of data, with these great analytic tools, to find for ourselves what is the right leading indicator for my brand against my target audience, given the situation in the marketplace today. So I guess that leads to another thing for marketers, like don't wait until somebody comes up with the new definition of GRP or some other industry standard metric that everyone's going to use, because I don't believe there will ever be one.
Okay.
Or if there is, sure, broadly it may be useful for benchmarking, but in terms of really optimizing your campaign and your brand results, there's going to be deeper information and more granular information that's going to be more relevant and really more effective for you. But that's going to require marketers to do their own legwork and work with partners who can really, again, the data scientists and the tools and technologies that can answer that question. What should I be looking at? And of this massive, hundreds, maybe thousands of data points that I collect, which ones are meaningful?
Yeah.
And which ones should I be, using to act on, and which ones, again, maybe diagnostic or maybe completely useless.
And really that's what can drive competitive advantage for the future.
I think that's absolutely right.